It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, a special edition here. The two teams you're about to meet have won once previously, and today's winner moves on to the elementary school semifinals, so there's a lot at stake. Let's meet the teams. First, from Calverton Elementary, would you please say hello to Muid Kalajaye, Mariah Sweeney, and Douglas Villalobos. And over at Mattaponi, would you please welcome Thomas Berry, Jaden Pritchett, and Fumi Mahmood. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. On the left, the easier questions, 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones, 15, 20, 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds today, we will have someone going on to the semifinals. So we have a lot at stake today. Congratulations, guys, on making it this far in our competition. Mariah, would you try the red team's buzzer? All right, Calverton looks like it's ready and raring to go. Douglas and Muid. And Jaden, give it a push if you would. All right, and Thomas helped out on that. Good luck to you and to Fumi and to the Mattaponi team. All right, are we ready to do this? Yes. Let's have a good game. May the better team win. We go alphabetically C before M, so Calverton and Mariah, let's play the bowl.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, which of the following animals would you consider arboreal? A skunk, salamander, or sloth? Which one is arboreal? Jaden?
Salamander.
Not the salamander. The salamander, the skunk, or the sloth, which one would be considered arboreal?
Sloth.
The sloth, yeah. Arboreal means living in trees, and sloths live in trees. Skunks and salamanders, the last time I checked, do not. Go again, Red. Go, Red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you eat celery, you're eating the stalk. But some people eat celeriac, which is this part of the celery plant. They're eating what part, Calverton?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
Leaf?
Not the leaf. Mattaponi, if you eat celeriac, you're not eating the stem of the celery plant. You're eating this part.
The head?
The root. The root. Celery root. Go again, Red.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, scientists have discovered that teenage behavior improves if they see that a lot of people have clicked on this body organ symbol on things they've posted on social media. What do they click on, Calverton?
Pass it to Douglas.
Heart?
A heart, yeah, a like. The more likes, the better you feel. We all want to be liked. Yeah, we all want to be popular. All right, Calverton, you're off to a fast start. Where next, Mariah?
Let's get physical for 15.
For 15 points. All right, teams, I know you'll know this one. If you split an atom, it's called nuclear fission. But if you join atoms together, like in the sun, it's called nuclear what?
Fusion.
Jaden?
Fusion.
Fusion, that's it. That's what gives us the light and the heat from the sun. All right, green is on the board. Go.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, if you study insect metamorphosis as they change from an egg to an adult, there is a chrysalis in complete metamorphosis, and inside that chrysalis is what stage in metamorphosis? What do you call that stage, Mariah?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
Pupa?
Pupa, yes sir, you got that one right. Go.
Science Potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, rover is a very familiar dog's name. It's also the name of the science probes on what planet? Jaden?
The moon.
Not the moon. What planet?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
Mars?
Mars, yeah, the Mars probes. Curiosity, rover. Yes, indeed. Good. Go, Red.
Super 8 for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, there is an old song about this picnic-loving insect that says it cannot move a rubber tree plant, but it has high hopes. Calverton.
Pass
Bear?
it to Douglas.
A what?
A bear?
Bear? Not a bear. This picnic-loving insect
Ant?
in the song. Yes. Can an ant move a rubber tree plant? It has high hopes. High hopes. Okay, I won't sing for you. Go, Green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if I gave you a soda cracker and told you to chew it but not swallow it, the enzyme in your saliva will change the starch in the cracker to this sweet carbohydrate. Jaden.
Sugar.
Sugar. Yeah, you can feel, you can taste that cracker gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. Nice answer. 80 to 85. We got a good game going here. Jaden, you go.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, the newest superhero is named for this poison in snakes that comes out of fangs. Mattaponi.
Venom.
Venom, yeah. Good. Green, go.
Super 8 for 20.
Green, please. Green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. And if you go down to the Capitol building, you will see that there is a big greenhouse right next to it where you can see plants from all over the world. It is called the U.S. Botanic what?
Garden.
Mattaponi.
Garden.
Garden, that's it. Thank you, Fumi, for your help on that. Go, Jaden.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, it's an awful story from Greek mythology. A man called Prometheus stole fire from Zeus and gave it to mankind. Zeus was so angry, he took Prometheus, he chained him to a rock for all eternity, and every day an eagle flies down, rips open Prometheus's gut, and eats this largest internal organ, which grows back again. Name that organ. Jaden.
I'm going to pass it to Thomas.
What do you think, Thomas?
Esophagus.
Not the esophagus, this largest internal organ. It is eaten by this eagle, but it can grow back again. It's the only organ we have that can grow back. What do you think, guys? It's the liver. It's the liver. Go again, Green. Oh, the buzzer says the first part is over. Mattaponi has a slight lead. 105 for Mattaponi, 85 for Calverton. Back with round 2 in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back to Scienceville. Nice to have you here today. 2 evenly matched teams, as we expected. They both won their first games, and they are smart guys and gals, as you've been watching. They're going to demonstrate that more in the second half. Let's find out a little bit more about each one of them. Over at Calverton, Mariah, tell us the Calverton story. Who's your coach?
Mrs. Richmond.
Absolutely. She's out there. She's done a really great job with you guys. And who's your principal?
Dr. Brady.
Wonderful. Also, big fan of Science Bowl. Muid used to be the alternate, so who's your alternate now?
Zahira.
Yeah, and Zahira will be out in just a few moments here. Tell me something about Calverton. Do you have extracurricular activities or clubs after school that you can join?
Sometimes we have Girls on the Run, or sometimes we have America Counts.
Wow. Girls on the Run, is that a track team of some kind?
Well, it's like where you exercise and run a block around the school or neighborhood.
That's a great idea, because you got to exercise your body as well as your mind, and it sounds like that school was doing it very well. Tell me what you want to do someday.
I want to be a writer.
A writer. We were talking about that before. Would you like to write novels, or would you like to write for newspapers, or what kind of writing do you see yourself doing? Poetry?
I would like to write narratives about myself.
Yeah, telling a story, like an autobiography. Yeah, and as I was telling you before, start writing now. Jot down notes, save things. Douglas, nice to have you back in. You're a smart guy. How do you know so much science?
Well, like I said, I watch Science Bowl and I study a lot for science.
It shows, and I bet you get on the internet and You're just like a sponge. You're soaking up all that information there, and you're a physical player. I like how you gesticulate and you get into the game here. What do you want to do someday, Douglas?
Well, I want to become the president of the U.S. so that I can give people the education that they need.
Yeah, well, you've got a good command of the English language, and you're a good communicator, and you have a sincerity about you that will serve you well in politics. I'll vote for you. Mui, tell us your story. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I like to play games, spend time with my family, and read.
Wow. What do you like to read? Do you have any favorite kind of books?
Captain Underpants books.
Very nice. Those are really good. And you're a very polite young man. I like how you're sitting there, and mix it up a little bit in the second half here so you can get some points for Calverton. Welcome to the show. Jaden, nice to have you back again. Tell us the Mattaponi story. Where is Mattaponi?
It's on Dooley Road in Upper Marlboro.
Yeah, so it's down in the southern portion of the county there. And your principal is Mr. Green.
Yes.
Yes, and he told me he's been there for 9 years, so that's home for him, and I know you really respect him. He'll be out in a few moments' time here. Who's your coach?
Mr. Poya.
Wonderful, and he has done an awful lot to get you ready for this game as well. Alternate on your team? Fumi used to be the alternate. Who's the new alternate?
Tracy Pugh.
Tracy Pugh. She's out there. She is yelling and screaming, and she's cheering for you. And in addition to Fumi and Thomas, you brought your mascot with you today. What's his name, Jaden?
Captain Reptilius.
Yeah, give me his background. Who brought him in?
So, first time, well, it was last year. Yeah. We decided, we were like looking over videos. We were trying to figure out, try to like spice it up for Science Bowl. So, and we were just looking in, and we noticed that no one has brought in a mascot. That's when Mr. Poya brought in like all these different like teddy bears and stuff, and we all named them. And we take a vote on who we should bring, and the majority voted for Captain Reptilius, so he has become a tradition.
Wow. Well, he's very welcome here, and he's bringing you good luck. He has, and I like the idea of voting on the name. Yeah, you choose well. I like Captain Reptilius. Jane, what do you want to do someday?
When I'm not teaching, I probably want to be the host of Science Bowl or a judge.
I love that. You could be my successor here. You got the personality, you got the smile, and you got the smarts. Yeah, I'm going to be moving on sometime real soon here, so we'll have a spot for you, Jaden. You're going to be a good teacher, too. Fumi, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I play video games. I take golf lessons. I used to take piano lessons, and I play different instruments.
Wow. Where do you play golf?
Are
you just taking lessons right now?
Yeah, I'm taking lessons.
Just taking lessons, yeah. That's a hard thing to master. Believe me, I have tried. Don't take your eye off the ball, but you always want to see it go before you hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to hit the ball, and then you have to wait a little bit before you can look at the ball.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, a lesson I never learned. Thomas, nice to have you back in. You're back on Science Bowl. You were here last year. You're a good player. How do you know so much science?
I like to watch science, and a few years ago I did a tornado project, and ever since I kind of started to watch science because it just fascinated me.
Absolutely. There's so much to fascinate, and it can be a lifelong fascination. And something tells me you're going to be one of those kind of folks. Nice to have you back. You're the keeper of the iguana, too. Let's get back to the game. 105 for Mattaponi, 85 for Calverton. Last correct answer came from Jaden, so let's start round 2.
Can we have let's get physical for 10?
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, I bet you've all done it. You've made a model volcano. You use baking soda and vinegar. Baking soda and vinegar are what two basic kinds of different chemicals that you've mixed together. One's a what? One's the other. One's an acid, one's a base. That's why you get all the bubbles. Try again, Green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, the scientist's name was Louis Pasteur, and it was his idea that diseases were caused by microbes. Microbes is a fancy way of saying they are these G initial things that cause disease, Mattaponi.
Germs.
Germs, yeah. Let's call them what they are. Germs. Cooties. Go, Green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Judges, I think that was the fusion answer, correct? So that one should have been turned out. So can you choose another one, please?
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15. That I can give you. Yes, indeed. We know that hurricanes that hit the United States come from the Atlantic Ocean. Before they're in the Atlantic Ocean, they are born in the sands of this large African desert. The Sahara Desert. All those little particles of sand, that's what contributes to the formation of the rain that forms the hurricanes. Try again, green.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, let's see if you can count on your fingers here. Back in 1543, when Copernicus, the astronomer, died, there were how many planets? How many planets were there back in 1513? How many do you think? I'm not going to ask you to name them, but I do need a number, Mattaponi.
5.
Not 5. Good try. Calverton, how many planets were there back in the year 1513?
8.
6. 6. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Go green.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. All right, teams, if you carve your initials into a tree, which you shouldn't do, you're not going to kill the tree. But if you girdle the tree, if you take a little piece of bark and take it all the way around and girdle it, you will kill the tree because you have interrupted the flow of food from the leaves going down to the roots. That food travels through what? P initial tubes to get down to the root. What are those P initial tubes called, Mariah?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
I think it's photosynthesis.
That's a good try. That is a P. It's the photosynthesis that makes the food. I'm impressed by that. Jaden, Fumi, Thomas, do you know the name of the P initial tubes that carry food down a tree from the leaves to the roots? It's called phloem, P-H-L-O-E-M. Try again, green.
Soup parade for 20.
Soup parade for 20 points. Teams, if you watched Jurassic World, you know that there were pterodactyls in there. Well, pterodactyl means that those birds literally walked on their what? They walked on their what?
Wings.
Their wings, absolutely. That's what ptero means. Good answer, Jaden. Go. He's smiling over there. We like that. Go.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. All right, teams. You know, they did not award a Nobel Prize to the group of scientists who discovered this substance that they use to put people to sleep when they go into surgery. What's that known as? It's an A initial term, something that they use to put people to sleep. It's called anesthesia. Anesthesia, or an anesthetic. Try again, green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. If you go to an orthodontist, what does he or she do to your teeth? Calverton?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
Fix them?
Specifically.
Like they would prescribe braces? Or?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Braces, they'll straighten your teeth. Good answer. Go, Red, please.
Soup parade for 25.
Soup parade for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, when an animal is kind of not a baby anymore, it's not a larva, but it's not an adult, we call it by this J initialed name. Calverton?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
Juvenile?
Juvenile, yeah, it's a juvenile, as in a juvenile delinquent, which none of you are. Go, Red. Look at that score, almost tie, 130 to 135. We have a lot of points left. You choose Mariah.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, this fairy tale at one time was known the story of Jack Spriggins and the Enchanted Bean. Jaden.
Beanstalk. Jack and the Enchanted Beanstalk? Oh, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk, that's right. You were getting it from both sides there. Yeah, thank you both for helping him out and straightening him out. Go, Jaden.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. All right, team. If you've ever seen those Roadrunner coyote cartoons, well, the first law of motion is illustrated. You know when the coyote is on the back of a stick of dynamite and he's getting close to the Roadrunner and he hits a wall? A body in motion continues in motion until it hits an opposing force. That is known as inertia. Mattaponi, what do you want to tell me?
I'm going to spell inertia.
Thank you.
I-N-E-R-T-I-A. R S T. Can I pass it to Thomas?
You may.
INERTIA.
You got it, yes. Good pass. Go. Green.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline Science for 20 points is a visual question. Teams, look at the monitor. You have probably seen these black birds in your neighborhood. There are millions of them, and when they fly in formation like that, it's known as a murmuration. I will give you 20 points if you can name this bird, the only bird other than the sparrow that is so numerous, they're considered pests, and they are not protected by law. They can be killed. All right, Calverton, name that bird.
I'll pass it to Douglas.
A finch?
Not the finch, good try. Come on, Mattaponi, name that bird.
I'm going to pass it to Fumi.
Fumi.
A crow?
It's close, that's a starling. That's a starling. Try again, green.
Body Systems for 25.
Body systems for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, a lot of us and our families have been touched by cancer, and we know what an awful disease that is, but cancer can be treated. I'll give you these points if you can give me 2 ways that they treat cancer. 2 ways. You've probably heard of chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, stem cell implantation, all of those. Go green.
Science Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, one of my favorite Aesop's fables is the crow trying to get a drink of water, but he can't reach the bottom of the glass. So he keeps dropping little rocks in, and finally the water rises up to the top and he can drink. That crow has learned this principle by this famous Greek man. His first name began with an A. He's the one who got into the bathtub and all the water came over the side. Who was he? Who was he? Calverton?
I'll pass it to Douglas.
Aphrodite?
Not Aphrodite. No, that's a good try. Jaden? Thomas? Fumi? That's Archimedes' principle. Archimedes. Try again. All right, let's go. We're not getting any points here. Go green.
Let's get Physical for 25.
Physical for 25 points. All right, I'll give you 25 points if you can name the 4 largest planets. 4 largest planets. All right, Calverton, go.
Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
You got them all, Doug. Good. All right, go red. We're back in it.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. All right, teams, multiple choice question. You've got a pot of water on the stove. You turn on the heat. And when the temperature reaches 212 degrees Fahrenheit, the water starts to boil. I said it was a multiple choice. Jaden, what do you want to tell me? Let me finish it for Calverton. Calverton, that water is boiling at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. If you keep heating it, will the water temperature go up? Will it go down? Or will it fluctuate?
I'll give it to Douglas.
Go up?
No. No, it will stay the same. It will stay the same because the boiling temperature, it will stay the same. All right, try again, red.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. Teams, there is a new website for children called Earthquakes for Kids. It is sponsored by the USGS, the U.S. What Survey. What does the G stand for? What's the study of rocks called? If you know that G, you're good.
Geology.
You got it. Geology, the Geological Survey. Go.
Green Things for 25.
Green Things for 25 points. Look at that score, 155 to 185. That is a 30-point difference we have. Just 5 points left on the board, correct? All right, that other 25 that was up there, that one was taken away because it was chosen. So the last question of the game is Dateline for 5 points. Is that correct? All right, you pick Green Things for 25? All right, that's your question. All right, you need to get this right, or you need to get this right, and you have to get the other question right in order to tie the game. All right, this is Green Things for 25 points. Teams, the sunflower, the zinnia, and lettuce are 3 plants that could be described as extraterrestrial because they could have been found at one time where? Extraterrestrial.
I'll pass it to
Calverton.
Douglas.
Out of the world?
Where out of the world? Yes. You can finish.
Is like in outer space? Or
More specifically,
Somewhere on a different planet?
No. Mattaponi? Not on the moon. On the International Space Station. The astronauts took it up there and they grew those seeds. With that, we have come to the end of the game, and it looks like, just barely, Mattaponi is moving on. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Yes, we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game, and it was that indeed. Let's look at that score right now. Calverton at 155, Mattaponi 185. Congratulations, Mattaponi. Thomas, Jaden, Fumi, Tracy, and Principal Green, we will see you in the semifinals. And let's have a round of applause for that Calverton team. Muid and Mariah and Douglas and Zahira. Miss Richmond, thank you for all you have done. We loved having you guys here. We loved having you here. Hope to see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Till then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.